Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruby. So if this is your first time of coming across my channel, please do well to subscribe, like and share. Thank you. So this is the dress I'm going to be showing you guys how to sew. I will show you guys how to sew this dress. So I'll be using an English satin for this project, and I already drafted out my pattern on my pattern paper, and I used that pattern paper to cut out on my fabric. So this is what you are supposed to get when you cut it correctly. Now this is for the down part of my dress, for the front and the back side of my dress, and if you check very well, one is wider than the other one and it's just by 1 inches. Now we're going to be using that 1 inches for our zip allowance. Now here it is. This is our zip allowance for the back. That's why it is wider than the other one. So here is my front piece. So I'm just removing the pattern paper on my fabric. I used a pin to secure it, so I'm just removing the pins. Now I am going to spread it wide open, and I'll be placing the other one on it. So of course you get it that I'm using the same fabric as my lining. So right now I'm just placing it on the other one, right side facing each other, and I'm trying to arrange it well so that everything is going to align. Then I'm going to sew the neckline like this to like this. So I'm going to sew the side also just by 1/2 inches. So here is for the back upper bodice. Of course I'm using the same fabric as the lining, like I said, for the front. So you cut everything you're supposed to have. You're supposed to be 2 for each side. So right now you're just going to sew this side and this side just by 1/2 inches. So you're not going to sew the center, you leave it wide open because we'll be placing a strap at that side. So this is the strap I cut out. This is 2 inches in width, and in length I cut out any length. I didn't actually measure the length, so I would advise you to use something more than 15 or 15, but not lesser than 15. So this is how you're supposed to fold your strap. You just fold it 1/2 inches at both sides, then you fold it again. You fold it 1/2 inches at both sides, then you fold it again. So I'm going to do that for all of them. So here is my down bodice. So what we are going to do now is we're going to concentrate on the back bodice, and I'm just going to open up the zip side. I'm opening up the zip side because we're going to be adding a zip to it, so there's no need of it being closed. So we'll just open it up, and we'll be adding a lining to this, and the lining is going to be this same fabric. So right now I'm through opening it up. So right now we're going to take our dart, and for us to take our dart, we should be mindful that we added 1 inches zip allowance to this. So I'm just marking that 1 inches. So from there I am going to take her nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches, and I'll be taking 1/2 inches at both sides of that 4 inches. So for the length I am going to be measuring 5 inches, and I'll make sure that it is 4 inches plus 1 inches. That's 5 inches. I hope you get it. 1 inches plus 4 inches, because the 1 inches is for our zip allowance, while the 4 inches is her nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8. We divided by 2, giving us that 4. So here is for the front piece of our down bodice. So I'm just going to fold it into 2, and I will still take my dart for it. So for the front body is a no zip allowance, so I'm just going to measure 4 inches, and I will measure half inches at both sides of that 4 inches, and I'll be taking the length of my dart, which is 5 inches, and I'll make sure it is still that 4 inches at that 5 inches I measured, just like this. So we're just going to just hold the dart and sew. So this is for my back bodice, the upper side of it, and I've sewn the side I told you to sew. Now I'm measuring 3 inches at the side I told you not to sew, and from that 3 inches I'm going to keep my tape there, and I will measure 9 inches again, just like this. So I'm going to do the same for the other one. Right now I've sewn my strap like I told you how to sew it, so I'm just going to attach my strap to this back bodice, and I'll show you how to do that. You just put everything inside, then you pin it to that 3 inches we measured. And we're going to pick the other one and we'll pin it to that 9 inches we measured. Just like this. So right now I'm going to make sure that everything is inside, then I'll just sew it in a straight line. So after sewing, you're supposed to have something like this. I've sewn it already. I'm going to remove the pins I used to secure it, and I'm going to turn it inside out. So here it is. I'm just turning it. So this is going to make your work very neat and exceedingly beautiful. So here it is. You're supposed to iron. Make sure you iron. I'm going to iron later and I'm going to show you, but make sure when you sew you iron. So this is for the two side of the back piece. So here it is. So the next thing for us to do now is to, I've sewn my dart already, as you can see. I'm just showing you guys the dart. I've sewn the dart both for the back bodies and for the front bodies. So here is my front bodice. I've sewn the neckline, so I'm just notching the edges of the neckline. You have to notch so that when you turn, it's going to be flat at the neckline. So make sure you do this notching, it's very important. Then when you turn it out, you make sure you iron. If you have hairstay, you can use it to secure the neckline also. You just place it in, then you iron it, and it's going to stay perfectly well. So right now I'm just cutting out the excess I have at my side, then I'm just turning it right out. So as you can see, even without ironing, it's still flat. So this is what you're supposed to have for your neckline, just like this. So for this part, we're not going to place any darts. We're not adding any darts to this. So this is the front part of the down bodice, and I already added my dart to it for the downside. Remember, for the upside, you're not to add any dart. So this is for the back. I'm going to be placing my lining, which is the same fabric, on each other. On the lining too, I took the darts and everything, just like I did for the actual fabric. So I'm just going to place it and make sure the darts align together. Then I'm going to pin. Then I'll just sew the zip side by 1/2 inches. here is the zip side, so I'm going to sew it by 1/2 inches, and I will sew this other side by 1/2 inches. I want to cover all my rough edges. I don't want anyone to show. So look at, I'm just showing you that I've ironed it and I've sewn it already for the both sides, and look at what you're supposed to have. So right now I'm just going to attach my upper bodice to the down bodice, and on my down bodice, the dart, I'm going to be placing the up bodice to the dart side. I'll place it together, then I will just sew. So I'm going to be doing the same for the other part. On the darts of the down bodice, I'm going to be placing the beginning of this upper bodice on the darts, then I'll just sew. So that is how you're supposed to do it. So this is for my front bodice. I've ironed it already, so I'm going to place it on my front bodice. The front bodice also, I've added my lining to it, so I'm just adding the upper bodice to it. I gave a notch at the center. Like I said, I gave a notch at the center of both of them, then I aligned it and I just run a stretch stitch on it. So this is for my back bodice. I've sewn it already. So this rough edges, I'm going to fold it inside, then I will just sew. So this is what you're supposed to have. This is the other part of the back bodice. So I'm just placing it on top of each other, front side facing each other, and I am going to sew on the zip allowance. I'm going to take my zip allowance, which is 1 inch, and I will just sew. Look at it, I've sewn it already. So this is what you're supposed to have for the back, and this is what you're supposed to have for the front. So right now I'm just placing the both of them right side facing each other, and I'm going to sew the shoulder together. So I don't want any rough edges to show, so that is why I am wrapping the back bodice on the front bodice, and I'll just sew. So just look at what I'm doing on this shoulder line and you will get it. I'm just wrapping the back bodice on the front bodice. So I'm going to do it on the other side of the shoulder also. Then I will take her body measurement and I will just run a stitch from the shoulder to the hemline. So here it is. Here is the shoulder. You can see there's no rough edges, so I'm just going to trim the shoulder. So I'm going to be trimming the shoulders for it to align, the armhole, sorry, for it to align. So here I'm just trying to place the back bodice on the front bodice. I want it to properly stay, so I'm going to be using my pin to secure it. And now I am going to be taking her body measurements. So I will sew from left to right with her body measurement. So here it is. I've sewn it already, and this is what you are supposed to have, just like this. So this is how the back is. You just tie it like this. You tie it like this. So guys, if you are watching up to this moment and you haven't subscribed, guys, please do so. Press the notification bell to get notified whenever I post new videos, and please check out my other videos. I have very interesting videos that you will definitely learn something from. So now the next thing for us to do now is to hem this side. We're just going to be using 1 inch to hem it, but before that I'm going to cut it so that it's going to align well. I noticed one is longer than one, so I'm just going to cut it in order for it to align. So that is what you are going to do. Then you now fold it in with 1 inch allowance. So make sure when you are cutting, when you're drafting out your patterns, make sure you add your allowance to this. So this is the sleeve right now. I already cut out my basic sleeve, just that I added some inches to the upper part of it because I'm going to gather the upper part of it. So here it is. The length of this sleeve is 27. The length is 27, while the width is 17. So right now I'm just measuring 8.5, and from that 8.5 I'm going to measure 8 inches again, because there will be an elastic on this dress. Yeah, there will be elastic on this sleeve. So this is how I'm just going to place my elastic. And please, this right now is for one sleeve, meaning the other sleeve you're going to be having 2 of this also. So I doubled it. I doubled the sleeve. I'm not using only one material, I'm using 2. So this is how I'm just going to sew my elastic on it. So I've sewn it already, and this is how it's supposed to look like. So now this elastic, if your sleeve is let's say 15, so you're to cut like 8 inches for your elastic. So here is a strap. This strap is 2 inches in width, and I've ironed it also, but I'm just trying to open it up to show you guys how to fold it. Like I said, it's 2 inches in width, so I folded 1/2 inches at both sides and I ironed it. And I did it for this one also, the same procedure. So right now this is my sleeve, and this is the front part of my sleeve. So I'm going to be placing this strap on the sewing. I want this strap to cover my sewing line. So this is what you're supposed to do on this sleeve. So you're just going to place it up, then you top stitch. So I've done that already, and I'm just showing you guys. So this is the down part of the sleeve. As for the down part of the sleeve, I just separated the 2 pieces and I turn it front side facing each other, and I sewed the inside, then I turn it out. You're supposed to get something like this because a strap will be passing through this. So here it is. So now I'm going to sew. I'll be leaving 1/2 inches and I'll sew a straight line. I'll be leaving 1/2 inches because I told you something will be passing through. There's a strap will be passing through. So here it is. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I left 1/2 inches and I sewed in a straight line, just like this. Now here is my needle and thread. I'll be using this needle and thread to gather the upper side of this sleeve. So I'm just going to run the needle and thread on the upper side of this sleeve, like I said. So I'm through running the gather stitch. So I'm just drawing my thread, and this is what you're supposed to have. So now this is my dress. I'm going to trim the armhole so that it's going to align with the front armhole. So this is how it's supposed to be. It's going to be like 1/2 inch wider than the front armhole, because you know in the front armhole you need to come in by 1/2 inches, but for the back armhole you don't need to come in by any 1/2 inches. So that is why the back armhole is a little bit wider than the front armhole. So right now I'm just going to place my sleeve on my armhole curve, and I'm just going to pin all round. So here I'm still pinning, so I'm through, so I'm just going to run a stitch and hold it. So this is what you're supposed to have. I'm just going to use 1/2 inches, then I'll sew and cover my sleeve. So I'm just I'll run a stitch, and I've done it already. So now I'm going to open a hole that my strap is going to pass through. I'm just going to open a very tiny hole, and I'll open it at both sides. Then I'm going to insert this in through that hole. I'll be using my safety pin to do that.
Take me back to the life that we once knew, when the walls weren't closing in like they are now. 'Cause it's been too many years since California. I wish I could get there, I don't know how. See, one day I'm gonna reach ya, take a plane for many miles. We pretend that time didn't.
Now this is what you're supposed to have. Very simple and easy sleeve, guys. I hope you try it out. Very easy. So I've done that for the other sleeve also, and right now we're just going to insert our zip. I used an invisible zip for this project, and this is the final look, guys. This is what you're supposed to have. So if you notice something on the thumbnail dress we're using, the dress is not straight, it's like a mermaid, but for my client she wants hers to be straight gown. So that is the only difference you have on this dress. Mine is in straight gown, while the one on the thumbnail is a mermaid gown. So here is the down part of my dress. I already hemmed it like I said, and for this slit you just measure 19 inches, then you open it up, then you turn the 1 inch zip allowance you have, then you just iron your gum stay to hold it in place. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you on my next video. Bye.
Take me back to the life that we once knew, when the walls weren't closing in like they are now. 'Cause it's been too many years since California. I wish I could get there, I don't know how. See, one day I'm gonna reach ya, take a plane for many miles. We pretend that time didn't pass us by when we're on Mulholland Drive. I know it won't be long